Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just going to wait until we get to 3 o'clock before we start our live stream tour this afternoon. So just bear with me for another few seconds. Make sure that everybody arrives on time. So if anybody's watching right now, if they could just message me to say that they can see and hear me okay, that would be really handy. Okay. Hello, Graham. Martin. Martin, can you just give me a thumbs up out the window if you can hear me okay? Hello, Peter. Welcome. Excellent. Right. Jose, Dave, hello to you guys as well. Welcome. Let me begin. So, good afternoon. My name's Miles. I work at Fairline at the factory, and today I'm broadcasting this live stream all about the F-Line 33. Now, if you've been following our live streams over the past 4 or 5 weeks, we've been to some pretty glamorous locations. Last week we were in Connecticut, just 40 minutes or so north of New York City. We've been to Istanbul, another quite glamorous location. We've been up in Norway on the fjords there. We've been in Holland, beautiful day we had in Holland with a bit of a sea trial. And today we're in a rather grey and overcast Ipswich. But hey, you can't have everything. And whilst we're in this period of lockdown and quarantine, none of us are getting to be anywhere glamorous from the UK anytime soon. Right. That's my little intro. As I said, we're going to talk about the 33, which is certainly one of the hottest boats in the market today, and certainly one of the hottest boats that we sell in the market today. But as I'm at Ipswich, which is our testing and commissioning centre, I thought I'd take the opportunity just to show you what's going on down here at the same time. So all of our boats are built in a place called Oundle near Peterborough. They have been for over 50 years now. And Ipswich is our facility on the coast. So we transport every single boat down to Ipswich now. And it goes through a fairly rigorous pre-delivery inspection from the guys here. It goes through a very rigorous systems commissioning program. And a lot of the customer handovers take place here as well. Be that to the dealer or to the customer, or a combination of the two. Often with the larger boats, we'll see the owner's captain, and he'll come here for 2 or 3 days to make sure that he's completely familiar with all the systems on our vessels. So it's a busy place. Right now, if I flick the camera, right now you can see that we've got a Targa 65 GT being worked on. Hello, Lucy. Hello, Joe. Thank you for joining. Next to the 65 GT, we've got Targa 45 Open. Moving along the line, we've got another Targa 45 Open. This one's a little bit more interesting because it's actually got the engine room hatch open. So you can see there's a big gap there in what is normally the garage. This particular boat is designed in such a way that you can access the engine room through a small hatch on the port side, but for major works, so you can do your daily checks just by jumping through the hatch, but for major works, the whole of the floor of the garage lifts up hydraulically and gives you full access to the IPS units that we put into the Targa 45s, both GT and Open. And down at the far end there, we've got another Targa 65, just going through final prep. That one's a GTO, so that one is the one with the large garage and the single crew, as opposed to the GT I showed you earlier. So now I'm going to get out of the wind and the rain. The boatyarder jet washing a catamaran sailing boat there, so hopefully that won't interfere with our sound. Okay, so here I am in the workshop, and to give you an idea of what's going on, we've got a F-Line 33 here. We've got an F-Line 33 here, and then we've got this one here, which is the one that we're going to focus on today in order to have a good close look around. So let me begin by saying, if you watched the interview we did with Alberto Mancini and Nick Burnham, Aquaholic, last week, you'll have a fairly good idea of the passion that Alberto has for this boat that he designed for us a couple of years ago. And one of his, as well as it being a beautiful design, reminiscent of an old English sports car, an E-Type Jaguar, for example, and all of those lovely design cues, but his big passion about this particular model as a designer was that it's actually come into production virtually unchanged from his vision, which started with just a clean piece of paper. And it's very, very rare in any industry for that to actually happen. To have that designer's vision actually manifest itself when the boat enters production is quite a feat, and we're very proud of what we've achieved. Alberto is equally proud of what he's achieved. I mean, this boat, as I jump on board, bear with me. Okay, so this boat is also an award winner. We went to the Motorboat of the Year Awards in January, and this boat picked up the award in the category of Superboat, which is quite an accolade, given that we were up against some very stiff competition. Competition from the UK builders, Princess and Sunseeker, with their R35 and Hawk 38 respectively, but also Brabus were in that category in their partnership with Axopar with their fire-breathing Brabus 500, quite a machine. And yet our little F-Line 33 took top honours. So we're very, very proud of that fact. I think it'll be the first of many awards that we managed to pick up. Let me now start explaining exactly what this boat does and how it does it. So if we look across this one that's being worked on here, you can see that it has a bathing platform. Let me just explain a little bit about that. If you can imagine a pickup truck where the tailgate of the pickup truck drops down, that's exactly that principle that we have on here. We have a hydraulic platform that actually raises and becomes the back of the boat when you're underway. And when you're at rest, at anchor, you can drop down this powered transom and swim off it. We've got the bathing ladder that plugs in here, so you can get yourself back out of the water. It also means that this area that we have here, this seating area here, can be utilized in various different configurations. So I'm just going to ask my able assistant to give me a hand to convert this backrest here. No, Ben, this backrest here, please, mate. So if we move the backrest across, lovely. Thanks, Ben. What we can now see is that we've converted this furthest back seating bench so that we can sit comfortably and look out at the world behind us. I'm going to ask you to use some imagination here, to be honest, because a workshop in Ipswich isn't perhaps the most idyllic setting, but imagine you're anchored off a lovely little cala in Mallorca in a beautiful summer's afternoon, having a glass of wine, reading a book. The kids are jumping in the water and having a lovely time, and you're surveying everything that's going on around you. So that's really what this thing does. So ignore the workshop environment if you can. Okay. Michelle, if you think this is a good use of space, my friend, you haven't seen anything yet. Let me show you some more. So we'll just convert this back, Ben, if we could. And then I'm going to ask you to put the table down. So here's our cockpit table, teak-topped. And again, it's on this model, powered. You can have a manual pedestal on this. But what we're going to demonstrate to you now is how we make a sunbed out of this area. I'm stepping back, trying not to fall off the back of the boat. So as you can see, the table retracts down, and then all we do is we pull the backrest forward and the backrest back, Oh, my plate. Yeah, spin the plate. There we go. Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Ben. Now, we've got a big sunbathing area. Would you like to demonstrate the sunbathing area, Ben? So again, I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. Ben is 6'3", okay. Not sure he's the guest that you would actually want on your boat, but if you've still got that Mediterranean vision in your mind, you can see that we've got a big sunbed here. You get 3 people across that, no problem at all. So that is a good use of space in our view. Ben, I just want to show the under-seat storage. So if we pull this one back again. Okay, thanks very much. So under both seat bases, we've got ample storage here for fenders, lines. We've got some carbon fibre posts in there, which I'm going to explain a little bit about later on. But you've got this storage area here in both sets of seat bases. Should we pull this one up? Great stuff. Okay. Right. I'm going to move slightly forward now, and Ben's going to put this back together for us. The bar unit is here behind the helm. And I'm going to just walk you through the bar unit. Reason number one, why did we put the bar unit here? Well, number one, it's a good use of space. Number two, we've put it aft facing. So when you're mixing drinks, doing a bit of cooking, you're still part of the action. You're still part of the action with the group that you've got on your boat, which is why we've positioned the bar unit. In these cupboards here, we've got ice maker. Just point you down to the ice maker, fridge, and storage. The storage is for your crockery, cutlery, so that this is really your galley unit. Now, on this particular 33, we've got this very, very cool, if I can get it off, here we go. Right, take the cap off. So you might be asking yourself, what is that chrome hole that's changing colours? What is that? Let me explain what it is. This is a bottle holder, which is also a wine bottle cooler, and it's a really, really clever bit of kit. So you've obviously got the funkiness of the changing LED in there, but when you put your room temperature or warm bottle of wine into here, it cools the bottle down within about 30 to 45 seconds. So you drop your bottle in there from the supermarket, and within a minute, you've got drinking temperature cold wine. So a really, really nice feature, and my congratulations to the client whose boat this is for ticking that box on our options list, because I think it's a really strong feature. Nothing worse than a warm glass of wine whilst you're out on the water. Okay, let's get a bit technical now. You can see that Ben has raised the transom for us. As I explained, that sort of hatch pickup truck lid. So we're now ready to go underway. How do we actually go about that? Well, in terms of packaging, we're on a 10-metre boat here, 33-foot boat, so packaging is really, really important in terms of where we put things. So, first things first, in our port side locker here, we've got our main switches for getting the thing going. So, as you can see here, we've got our master batteries. We've got a series of switchgear to switch on domestic power, open the engine room hatch. We've got our fuel cut-offs in here, and of course our remote fire extinguisher. It's also where we plug in our shore power lead as well. So all of those critical controls all tucked away in a hatch out of sight on the port side. On the starboard side, as we move across, we've got our manual bilge pumps and our fire suppression system here. Okay, so clever packaging. Moving slightly aft, I'll just show you, we've got our handheld shower with its control below. So handheld shower pulls out of here. I can't really move on without talking about the the hi-fi system. It's one of my loves. You know, there's nothing better than being on a boat with the tunes pumping, of course. And this particular vessel has got the upgraded audio system, which is 4 of these waterproof Fusion speakers, and forward a big subwoofer in here next to the helm. It also has a hidden amplifier, and the head unit is here. Now this head unit is all Bluetooth controlled, so you simply download the Fusion app onto your phone, link it to this head unit, and every time you step on the boat, it automatically hooks up and you can play your favorite playlist or stream the radio or whatever it is that you want to do. But with the hi-fi upgrade, this is a great sound system, and one that personally I couldn't do without. So there you go. Right, bar unit, let's go up to the helm. Let me see. Oh, hello, Jack. You're a natural. I'm not sure I would say that, but thank you for your support. Okay, helm position. So we set out as part of the design brief for this boat with the intention of making it a boat for first-time boat owners. How does that manifest itself? Well, it's a 10-meter boat, so it's manageable in terms of its size. But one of the really important features was to make it not too complex. We didn't want to have the new owner looking at the helm or the dashboard and thinking, my God, this is the Starship Enterprise. Which button am I supposed to push? So this is a real simple helm layout. The steering wheel has got some controls for your hi-fi, but also lighting controls for your mood lighting, your anchor light, navigation lights, cockpit lighting. So that's quite a nice feature. The steering wheel itself is adjustable for rake, so you can get into a comfortable position. You'll notice there's only one Garmin screen here. This is going to give you everything you need to know about the running of the boat. It's going to be your navigation screen, so you know where you're going, what the hazards potentially are. It's going to give you all of the readouts digitally for your engines, so your temperatures, your fuel burn, your fuel level, the whole thing, all on one Garmin touchscreen, which, there we go, we'll just light that up. We have the optional joystick control here. So if you've ever played a video game and you've used a joystick before, this is exactly the same. Really, really simple. You want to go to the right, so starboard, you simply push the joystick. Forward, back. And really it's for low speed control, but you can use it underway as well. It makes parking the thing, or to use our terminology, docking the boat, it makes it really, really easy. Anybody can do it with a day's practice and some fenders. Here we've got throttle controls, we've got the kill switch here, ignitions below. This remote control is for the anchor. Make sure that's in shot. So you might ask, why have a remote control for the anchor at the helm when an up-down switch would probably do the job? Well, it's kind of dual purpose, really, because you can take this lead, this lead here, and you can plug it in to a socket in the anchor locker at the front of the boat. So one control can be used in 2 different places. The benefit of going up front and plugging in up front is that you can actually watch the anchor coming back and see if there are any snags before you pull too hard. So that's quite a nice feature. Moving across here, we've got our trim tabs, but we can trim the engines, if you can see that on the throttle. We've got a VHF radio, and this boat also has a bow thruster. So ultimate control on this particular model with both bow thruster and joystick control. Good combination, very, very easy to use, very safe to use. You'll notice that before I started filming, I put the bimini cover up. This is, again, an important feature for those of you that haven't gone boating before and think it would be absolutely fantastic to be out in the sunshine all day. Well, trust me, it's not that fantastic by about 11:30 when you're the colour of a lobster. So a bimini cover here is an important feature. And the bimini cover is manual, so it's very lightweight. You just push it down into this space ahead of the helm and zip it back into its bag. in addition to the bimini cover, you can actually cover this whole area here, this whole cockpit area, and this boat has that feature. We use a couple of carbon fiber posts which plug into the floor here. You'll remember when I was looking in this seat base, I mentioned those carbon fiber posts. So the posts plug in either side here, and then with a zip on the back of this unit, of this bimini here, you zip a loose cover, attach it to the posts aft, and then you have what we'd like to call a lunch cover, a lunch canopy. So you can cover the whole of this cockpit area and screen yourself from the sun by using that particular feature. So again, this is a very, very nicely specified boat, and that lunch canopy is a great feature. I won't walk forward, but I will show you what we've got up front, as long as the light's okay for the camera. So, of course, you've got sunbathing area on the bow, and the hole you can see in the middle. I'll show you that from the inside, but that's the escape hatch for exiting the boat in a hurry, if you need to. Big single-piece windscreen. If I sit down here, I'm below the height of the windscreen, so as I'm rushing across the waves, I'm shielded from the wind there. I should probably talk about performance because, let's be honest, performance is quite a big part of this boat. And the boat was designed with a speed in mind, to be honest, and that speed was 45 knots. So everybody in our design office, everybody in Mancini's design office, and everybody in J&J's office. The J&J are a company that did the hull design, the bit under the water on this vessel. The goal was 45 knot performance. Certainly the fastest fairline that we've ever built or embarked on trying to build. We took the boat down to the south of France to launch it at the Cannes Boat Show in September, and out of the box, we put it in the water, went across the Bay of Cannes, and the thing did 48 knots out of the box. No tuning, no playing with propeller sizes, 48 knots. And that was with 7 guys on board. I was fortunate enough to be one of those guys, and it was a real rush. You know, we'd exceeded the performance that we were aiming for. We'd made a super fast boat, it's fair to say. So that's where we are in terms of performance. I'll also talk about engine options that we offer. So this blue one behind me, you can see it's actually got a bit of a gap, and this is our outboard variant. So in our plan, when designing this boat, we always plan to have both an inboard and an outboard engined vessel. We launched initially with the inboard and then very quickly followed it up with the outboard. The outboard offers similar performance, but you may select an outboard for easier maintenance, for example. If you're keeping the boat at the bottom of your garden, as many people tend to do, having the outboards on board means that you can raise the drive legs out of the water, giving you less maintenance on an ongoing basis. This platform that sits behind is from H&B Technics, who do our hydraulic systems. And H&B have designed this Ascender platform, is the name of it, the Ascender platform, which, whilst underway, is level, but can be lowered to act as a bathing platform, as it is now, or it can be raised, which means you can lift your outboards up and out the water, but it also means you can step up onto a high quayside, so it acts as almost a ladder or a passerelle. So quite a clever feature. We'll take another look at the outboard later on in the tour if you want to. Just message me to tell me you want to look at it, and I'm more than happy to do that. So I'm going to go downstairs, but before I do, I just really wanted to show you this pantograph door hinge. I mean, I'm no engineer, but I do appreciate quality design and quality engineering. This pantograph door hinge is a spectacular piece of engineering, and we have them on these side access doors, both port and starboard. Right, let me now take you downstairs to the lower deck. Okay, right, so I've come down these rather nice wooden steps. Notice the stainless steel detailing in the steps, and I'll show you in some of these lockers here. So eye-level lockers as you come down the stairs. This is our main distribution board. So all of our fuses are housed in here. So this is where you can manually isolate systems on the boat, and the first place you come to when a fuse goes on the boat. Next to it we have got some storage. Below I've got a big worktop in here. I've got the vent for my air conditioning unit. In here I've got another fridge in here. I think it's a 42 litre fridge in there. What you will notice, however, is we don't have any windows down here. Okay, and that's not a mistake. That's as per the design. What we offer is mood lighting in here, where you can dim the lights up or down to suit the mood in this seating area here, which is currently converted into a berth, or in normal language, a bed. So this boat will sleep 4 people, not all in this area, although don't let me stop you if that's your plan. The table here converts down flat, as you can see, with the additional cushions in the centre, giving you an overnight bed here of a good width. When we come out of where we're going next, this will be converted back to a normal table. So I'll show you that in a second. As we come, oh, I forgot the TV. Oh, sorry. Being a bit of an audiophile, I forgot to mention this mirror here. So you can see this mirror up in front. This has actually got a television hidden behind it. So when you switch the TV on, the picture of the TV comes directly through the mirror. You'd never know it was a mirror, but a nice use of technology there and design to hide the TV in behind that mirror there. Okay. I'm going to show you the bathroom, or the heads as we call it. So we've got a shower mounted here. We've got a little loo, sink, big mirrors, storage. Now, how does this work? Well, this is effectively a wet room. If you consider this to be a wet room in your house, that's what we've replicated in here. I'm just going to open these units here. I'm not sure how good the picture is going to be, so bear with me, but I did want to point out to you that inside every cupboard you will never ever see a screw head. Interesting Fairline fact. The detail is also in the places that you don't see. So whether you are in an F-Line 33 or a Squadron 68, you'll never see an exposed screw head. We put a lot of effort in terms of design and engineering and building into making sure that everything is of the highest quality. Now, if you look at this wood that we've got on here, this door comes back flush into this area here. Terrible camera work, so I do apologise. Who else do I need to say hello to? Oh, Darren. Hello, Darren. Welcome to the live stream tour of my favourite boat in the range currently. Okay, I've now come down into the mid cabin. So here we've got a big double bed in the mid cabin. This doesn't convert to anything. This is always going to be a double bed. Now you've got, between the top of the mattress and the ceiling, you've got about 1 metre of head height. So once you've crawled into the bed, it's not too claustrophobic in there at all. So either side we've got, again, storage, little hanging lockers, and at the end of the bed we've got 4 of these smaller little storage units here as well. They're on soft close, power points, dimmable lights, air conditioning. So this is going to be your permanent bedroom. Good enough, certainly good enough for overnights, certainly good enough for long weekends, and in my opinion, good enough for a week's holiday. My able assistant, Ben, has now converted the saloon back to its saloon configuration. So as you can see, we've got the table in its full height position. That again is a powered pedestal, electric pedestal. You can specify the boat with a manual pedestal, and then you've got plenty of seating around the front here. Okay, in terms of finishes, it's probably worth talking about those for a second. These wooden bulkheads here we do two styles. You can have them very shiny, so a gloss finish, or you can have them as we've got here, which is a matte finish, so a more satin finish. We offer three different woods. We offer this one, which is cashmere, or cashmere oak, to give it its full name, which is a lovely sort of grey-brown colour, one of my favourites. We do light oak, which is a more yellowy wood, again in the two finishes. And then we do what we're really known for, which is the walnut, so the deep gloss walnut, American walnut. If you've seen the other tours that we've been doing recently, you'll have seen a lot of walnut woodwork as you've walked through other boats. So there we are, in and out of the F-Line 33. I'm just racking my brains to see if I've missed anything. I'm not sure I have. If anybody would like to see anything specific, then by all means message me, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Excellent. So there we have it. Now, if you want to see the boat in action, I would push you towards our website, which is fairline.com, where there's plenty of video footage of this boat in action. A couple of other places I'd push you to as well. I'd urge you to go and have a look at fairline-marina.com, where we've got 360-degree video tours of all the models in our range. I'd also push you towards mby.com, where you should search F33 and watch Motorboat and Yachting's editor on his first test of the F-Line 33. This is a guy who has been very close to this project since its inception, and we managed to get him on board the boat number one just after the Cannes Boat Show. His video is quite lengthy. It's about 20 minutes long, but it's worth every second of the 20 minutes. I've never seen somebody so enthused driving a boat, considering he drives a boat for a living. So that's well worth a watch as well. Okay. Right, Amando, you want to see the platform on the outboard? No problem. I shall go and explain that to you. MPG, right. Similar for both. Obviously depends on what speed you're traveling at. I mentioned the top speed of 48 knots that with the Volvo 430 V8s, two of those. To be honest, cruising speed is anywhere between 32 and 37 knots is comfortable on this boat, depending on conditions. And you'll get about 180 miles to the tank doing that cruise. So it's not too bad in terms of boat fuel consumption. Right, let me see what else. Bear with me whilst I step off, which is a little bit precarious. And then I'll come down these stairs. Right. So, can I show you the platform on the outboard model? Right. First things first, we saw on the boat we've just been on, it had a bench seat with the lift up front. This is the bucket seat option. Not yet fitted, but about to go on the boat in front of us, I think. So for that more performance feeling, if you've got the big engines, then the bucket seats are a good option in terms of holding you in place whilst you're doing those hard turns and having some fun. Right, this platform, it's wrapped up in plastic because it's ready for transport, but effectively this space here is where your outboard engines are going to hang. So in this gap here, this platform is in its down position, and you can see that it forms steps up onto the boat when it's in its down position. This also reverses, so when the platform's in its up position, sorry, there's a boat being lifted behind me. When the platform's in its up position, then the steps will take you up to the platform, and when it's in its level position, the platform is dead flat out the back. What a noise, goodness me. My apologies if the noise is horrific. I'm not sure what else I can show you. Let me see what else people want to see. Bear with me. Swim ladder, yeah, okay. Gary's asking about swim ladder. So, Gary, I'll just go over to this one and show you where it hooks. So the swim ladder the swim ladder hooks into these two sockets, Gary, hangs off the back. When you're storing the swim ladder, i.e. underway, it'll go into the seat bases storage here. It folds up and goes into there. Excellent. Okay. Charlotte Skinner wants to know about the stereo. I'm not sure there's too much I can tell Charlotte about the stereo. In fact, I'm pretty sure that Charlotte could tell me everything there is to know about the stereo, because I've got to be honest with you, it was Charlotte that taught me about this stereo. So it's a Fusion unit. It links to your phone through the app. It's dead easy to use. It doesn't have to be tuned to Heart FM. That's obviously the choice of the guy that's working on here right now. So there's your stereo. I'm just going through the messages here to see what we can see. Hello, Stephanie. Hi, Simon. Welcome, everybody. Brilliant. Okay, I think... Toby, I think it's a really sexy boat. Thanks, mate. I think it's awesome. An awesome piece of kit. Definitely recommend going to mby.com and watching Hugo's video. Definitely recommend that you follow the rest of our series of live tours, which will continue throughout this global pandemic, whilst none of us can actually jump on a plane and do it for real. There are a few of these available in our dealer network. So if I've excited you, if I've interested you and piqued your interest in being an owner of an F-Line 33, number one, that really wouldn't be a poor decision on your part. And number two, just head over to fairline.com, click on Find a Dealer, and select the place in the world that you'd like to go boating. Give that dealer a shout, and if he hasn't got one, he'll find you one. We're okay with boat movements now. We're able to transport boats around the world, so there's never been a better time to get yourself behind the wheel of your very own F-Line 33, wherever you are in the world. So I'll leave you with that thought. Thanks very much for watching. I've quite enjoyed doing this, to be honest. And please, just message us through Facebook or use the live chat function on the Marina website, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you've got. So I guess it's all for me, from me. So bye-bye for now. Thanks again.